Hi everybody, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and this is Soft Flow Yoga. Today we're making shapes, triangles, and pyramids. Let's get to it. Let's begin our practice in seated. We can get into breath, get connected, fully present as we begin our practice together. You might start with a few deep breaths, a nice full inhale, filling up your lungs, and exhale to completion. Let's do that again. Nice full breath in, exhale for the full release. And just continue with slow, steady breaths. Feel free to keep your eyes open if you'd like. You can just soften your eyelids, gaze downward, or simply close your eyes as you take this journey inside of self. Just taking these moments to fully prepare for our moving practice. So we're making some shapes today. Triangle, which is triangle pose, and pyramid, and there is a pyramid pose, which is a standing posture which really gets into some balance and some leg extension. On your next breath in, just feel breath rising, filling up your lungs. And this exhale, as you're able, draw your belly button in towards your spine, connecting to your center body. As you engage the abdominal lock, we feel the light contraction of the abdominal muscles. Again, breathing in, allowing breath to rise. Feel that nice expansion in your lungs and heart space. Exhale, pull belly in, connecting to center. Wonderful way to feel strong, in control, balanced, centered. Let's take a few more breaths. Good. Let's make a slow transition to our hands and knees. Feel free just to be on your mat, or if you'd like to have something soft underneath you, perhaps double up on your mats or use a blanket. Here on hands and knees, moving through cat and cow. Let's inhale to tip the chin up as we open the heart, tip the pelvis back, belly drops, arching the back. Exhale, tuck the pelvis under. Feel the belly button draw up towards spine. The back rounds, chin to chest, and that's cat pose. And just continue with this nice steady flow, moving with breath. A wonderful way to loosen up the spine, get into your back body, and feel the mobility in your hips. Just one little tip here. Just want to make sure your arms stay straight and strong. That way you get this good movement through the torso. Inhale, cow, that's our back bend. Exhale, rounding into cat pose. Let's take 2 more breaths. And when you're complete, just pause for a moment in this neutral tabletop posture. And transition from here to downward facing dog. If you happen to be using a blanket or a pad underneath you, we'll just set that to the side. And as we move into down dog, first step the hands forward just so your wrists are out from underneath the shoulders, spreading out your fingers pretty wide so you feel a stretch between each finger. Lean into your hands, press your palms flat into your mat just to get that stretch and opening in your palms. Again, arms are straight and strong. Go ahead and tuck your toes. Let's do another cat-cow. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Hold, cat. Tuck toes, lift knees, send hips into the air. Your head will sink between the arms. Your ears will run alongside your arms. And make a slight adjustment with the feet, even the hands here. You can keep a good bend in the knees. That way you have more mobility in your hips, sending your hips a little higher, pushing strongly and firmly into the floor with the hands, strong arms, and just to elongate through the arms and your torso. Let's go right away into a lunge. Let's inhale, extend right leg up behind. Exhale it, step right foot to the top of the mat, or just behind the right hand is good here. Turn left heel to the floor behind you. Shift weight into that foot as if you're standing on that foot. That way you have a good balance between the feet. That will lighten up the hands so you can lift, reaching forward and up. Pausing here for a warrior one. Good extension as you reach high. Lunging here. Just checking in with alignment. Right knee and toes are pointing forward. Left leg stepped back, turned out slightly. And let's just go ahead and bring the arms down for a moment and bring hands to hips. And just check in with the alignment of your hips, because this is going to be something we want to be aware of as we get into our our pyramid pose. Now, when I'm in Warrior One, if I were to put points at my hip bones, they point out at an angle like this. They're really not square like this. That's okay if they're not, but just be aware if that's the case for you. Okay, let's inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, let's open this up to a warrior two. I'm gonna take my feet a little wider, turn this leg out just so I have a little bit more space and opening in this left hip. Checking in again with alignment of right knee and toes. Here's our warrior two. From here, we're going to move right into our first shape. It's triangle pose. We're going to straighten the right leg here. Feel tall. You can even feel an imaginary energy rising up through the torso. You're going to reach up, forward, and out over that straight right leg. Already starting to feel a stretch in that right hamstring. And then rotate the arms. Don't need to go down too low, or just get to a space where you can start to feel that nice stretch and lengthening in the leg. For me, it's here. So my hand is right here at the knee. Nice opening. We have this tilt of the pelvis. Again, if I were to check in with the hips, now they are a little bit more aligned to the front of the mat and to the back of the mat. 2 more breaths. We're going to bend the right knee just to help us get out of the pose, adding some leverage here. As we rise up, return to warrior two. A big windmill. We're going to take this left hand up and over and around, facing forward. Present the hands so you can bring the hands down to the mat. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. Pause here for a moment. This is just another way to realign the hips. If I were to check in with hips again, now they're pointing out to the sides of the room. Push firmly into the floor with the hands so I can slide this right foot back. Plank pose. Let's hold. From here, we're just simply taking a shortcut to down dog. Bend the knees, send your hips into the air. Head sinks between the arms. Make your slight adjustments. And let's get ready for the other side. Again, soft knees, lifting the hips, pressing hands firmly into the floor, strong arms, lengthen torso. Other side. Let's inhale, extend left leg straight up and back. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat or behind the left hand. Right heel turns, shifting the weight back into that right foot. Light hand so you can reach forward and rise up. We're going to do the same thing here. Let's pause for a moment in the warrior one. Good extension of the arms, reaching high. Check in with alignment, left knee and toes pointing forward. Let's bring the arms down for a moment. Check in with hips. For you, they might be square, pointing to the sides of the room. For me, they're at an angle. Just want to be aware of that. But I am getting a nice hip flexor stretch on the right leg here. Let's inhale, arms up. Exhale, open to the right side of the room, arms to parallel, adjusting the feet as you'd like. Pausing for a moment in your warrior two. Keep checking in with alignment. Moving into triangle pose. We're going to extend or lengthen the left leg, the energy rising up the sides of the body. We're going to reach up, out here, rotate, reaching up and down, finding the depth that works best for you to get the stretch that feels good in the left leg. Hips pointing or aligned with the front and back ends of the mat. Coming out of the pose, let's bend the left knee. Leverage to come back up. Pause for a second in Warrior Two. Here's our cartwheel out of the pose, around and down to the floor with the hands. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you, pausing here in this runner's lunge, aligning the hips as they point to the sides of the room. Push into the floor with the hands so you can easily slide this left foot back, plank pose. I'm going to pause for a second and come down to my knees. Now, so we did our triangle pose. That's getting into our legs. We're going to do something a little different, moving into pyramid pose, which again involves some balance, hip alignment, leg stretching, and some hips. I like to use blocks here. So I've got a couple of blocks I'm going to have on either side of my yoga mat here, ready to go. All right. Let's return to down dog. Inhale, extend right leg up. Right foot to the top of the mat, left heel to the floor, shifting weight back, planted firmly, balance between both feet. Knee and toes pointing forward, hinging your way up. Warrior One. Exhale, opening Warrior Two. Setting up for triangle again. Let's straighten the right leg. Energy rising up, reach up and out, tip it over. Alrighty. Now we're going to get set up from here into our pyramid pose. We're going to bring hands to hips. I'm going to lift up slightly so I have the mobility to start to turn, to face forward. Now this is about as far as I can go. Checking again with the alignment of my hips, they're kind of pointing out at angles here. To get the forward fold I want for pyramid pose, what I'd like to do is to actually take my left foot, step to the left edge of the mat, and a little closer in. That way I have a little bit more mobility so I can actually turn, and I'm practically facing forward here. Now, hips are aligned, outward to the sides of the room. Now, you may not need to make that huge of adjustment. All right, we're going to keep this right leg straight, using my hands, pushing pelvis down, lifting up through the torso so I have good space around the belt line, leaning with heart, starting to fold forward. Different things you can do here. Now you can just pause, maybe even here, maybe going down a little deeper so you're parallel to the floor. You can even free the hands, bring in those blocks if you happen to have blocks. I'm just up onto my fingertips here just to help stabilize this pose. Hips are still square. You want to feel like you have hands on your hips perhaps when they're being drawn back. That's why it's nice to have squared out hips being drawn back, because it's also a forward fold here, which just deepens this stretch in the hamstrings. So you can fold a little deeper as it feels good to you. And so this is a variation of pyramid pose. Nice stretch, good extension of the spine, working in the hips, wonderful hamstring stretch. This is how we'll get out of the pose. Since I have the blocks, I can easily push into the blocks just to kind of lift up slightly, bend this right knee shifting forward. I'm going to walk my blocks forward, rise up onto my tiptoes behind me, and actually step forward so I'm in a forward fold here. Shifting weight back into the heels, dropping the hips, rising to a chair pose. I'm going to rise up all the way, reaching into the sky, and exhale, arms down to my side. Just coming up to my first full standing balancing position, or standing position, mountain pose. All right, we can do the same thing on the other side. Let's flow. Inhale, reaching up and out. Exhale, fold forward. You can always bend your knees as you fold. Make your way down carefully. Release head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale, rise up halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold, hands to the floor. Walk or step your feet back. Plank pose, pause. Soft knees, hips to sky, down dog. All right. Triangle to pyramid pose. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, right heel to the earth behind you, shifting the weight back, balanced on 2 feet, rising up, first warrior. Exhale, opening warrior 2. Make some adjustments if you need to. Setting up for triangle, let's extend this left leg, energy rising up the side of the body. Reach up, out, tip it over. Arriving in our triangle pose. And here comes our transition. Let's bring hands to hips, rising a little bit so you have mobility to start to turn. And just notice where you naturally stop. For me, it's here. Again, my hip bones are kind of pointing out at an angle. I need to make an adjustment. So I'm going to step my right foot to the right side and slightly forward. That's going to allow me to turn, so I'm facing mostly forward, squared out hips pointing to the side of the room. Here we go. Pushing down the pelvis as I get tall in the torso. That's an in-breath. Exhale, leading with heart, folding. And again, just move to the depth of the posture that feels good to you. It could be here. You might start to feel the stretch in the hamstrings. That could be the end of your pyramid pose. Maybe to parallel, or maybe down a little deeper. Now you can keep hands on hips. As I get lower, I'm really dynamically sending the pelvis back using the hands, creating more space so I can fold a little deeper. You can keep hands on hips. Another way you can do pyramid is just to reach the hands back. In a way, it kind of looks like a hieroglyphic, something you might see painted on the walls of a pyramid. Or you can bring in those blocks if you have them for a little bit more stability. Let's hold for a couple more breaths, feeling this wonderful stretch. Two more. We're going to soften things up, bending this left knee. I'm going to walk my blocks forward, rise up onto tiptoes behind so I can step forward into a forward fold. Shifting weight into the heels, bend the knees, lowering the hips, extend the spine. Let's rise up to our chair pose. Then stand up all the way, nice extension. Reaching into the air, exhale, arms down to your side. Back to mountain pose, and let's finish the practice making our way back down to the earth. Inhale, reaching high. Exhale, let's fold forward. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, hands to the floor. Walk or step the feet back, plank pose. And bring knees gently down to the earth. Sit back briefly into hero. Then off to the side so you can take a seat and perhaps crossing your legs in front. Nice lengthened spine as you sit up tall. Take a deep breath. One last movement together. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, palms together and down to your heart. Taking one more full and complete breath on your own. And as we come to the close of our practice, we bow together saying, Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.